Yo guys, it's Kyle coming at you from Bane's Film Reviews. I just saw Weapons, directed by Zach Cregers, starring Julia Garner and Josh Brolin. This film is one that I've been anticipating. It looks incredibly original. I didn't know which direction it was going to head. And yeah, I'll leave it at that for my expectations. This film is about a class full of students, third grade students, that go missing one night. They all leave their houses seemingly at their own will, and they just run away and no one knows where they go. What makes it even more interesting is that one student is still in that classroom. There are 18 students in total. 17 of them leave their houses of their own accord, never to be seen from, or at least not for a long time. So first and foremost, when I go into a film like this, I'm often hoping that the explanation of what has happened is something practical, not something supernatural or occult or something in that realm. I want it to be more practical because it allows the film to be more grounded, more accessible, and just make a little bit more sense. That's not what you get here with Weapons, which is okay. That does not detract from the film in the grand scheme of things. However, just for personal preference, that sort of takes a point away from me because, again, it's just not what I'm looking for. Again, I'm totally chalking that up to personal preference. That may not be a thing that bothers you at all. Go into this film with an open mind. I still didn't hate the explanation, which was a very vague explanation anyway. But I didn't think that it was unwarranted or just completely out of the realm of acceptable for a film like this. Beyond that, we have some really spectacular performances beyond Brolin and Garner, who are stellar and are just taking the world of Hollywood by storm. We have Benedict Cumberbatch and Aldrich Ehrenreich, and Justin Long makes an appearance. And Austin Abrams is in this film for a significant period of time. There are some really, really great performers in this, and their performances are a reflection of who and what they are in the field of acting. They do a spectacular job of bringing this thing together and allowing viewers access to their characters and to the story as a whole. What I find really interesting about this film is that we have 5 characters, the ones played by Garner, Brolin, Abrams, Ehrenreich, and Wong, who you are seeing each of their stories play out one at a time. They eventually cross paths, they become one cohesive story, but we're seeing them from their perspective at individual points in this film, and with that, it takes a certain amount of editing aplomb and expertise to be able to pull a film like this off, or to be able to blend nicely, to be able to capture the shots effectively, because we're seeing things from different point of views throughout the course of this film. And this is just a masterclass of editing. It's spectacularly done. This team does an absolutely incredible job of blending these stories that are for the most part linear, but separate from one another. And I looked for moments in which there was an issue or a slip-up in terms of the editing, and I could not find one. I was curious if this team would be able to pull this off, and if they would do a good enough job of blending these 5 stories. There is a 6th story at the end. I won't spoil what that is, but blending these stories together in a way that makes them cohesive, linear, fluid, and just altogether accessible. It's so well done. I think the score is awesome. I think that the sound design is great. It really immerses you in the film. This film, Weapons, doesn't rely too much on jump scares. They are in there. It's just part of the genre. But the sound design plays a huge role in developing that and working to juxtapose that as well. It's a really welcome aspect of this film. Finally, you have comedy that's inserted into this film in a way that I didn't think would work. I had heard that there was comedy inserted into this film, and I'm trying to figure out a way in which a bunch of kids go missing where you can insert comedy in and it be organic and it not detract from the thrill aspect of it or the dramatic aspect of it or this really heavy storyline. And the third act, the final 20 minutes or so, somehow manages to be really, really funny, and I don't know how or why it works, but it does. It's a great juxtaposition. It helps to provide a sense of levity, but it shouldn't work, and it does. And these actors do a great job, again, of providing comedy that just works in the grand scheme of this film. Weapons is a film, again, that I was anticipating, and I really wanted to see this film, and I thought that it had really high expectations for it, and thought that it would be good, and it met those expectations. I think that Weapons is a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think that it's probably the best horror film of the summer. I'm trying to think if I've seen any other horror films over the summer that are as good or better, and I can't think of any. I think that Weapons is the quintessential horror film of the summer. I implore you to go watch this film, whether it's now or whether it's on streaming. Please watch this film. I think you will enjoy it, but beware, it will make you squeamish, it will make you uncomfortable, and that is the point. So until next time, peace.